Hello and welcome to News Channel Nebraska. I hope you're doing great today and thanks for joining us here on NCN. Let's get into our top headlines. A Wymore woman is behind bars after giving birth to a baby in a drug-filled house. 34-year-old Christina DeVore is facing 2 felony charges. Gage County deputies were called to the home to assist medics with the baby. The Gage County Sheriff's Office says she had given birth prematurely and was using methamphetamine and marijuana during pregnancy. The baby was hospitalized for 3 weeks and is now with the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. And Governor Jim Pillen issued a proclamation Wednesday calling for a special session the day before Nebraska's 37th special session was expected to begin. The session began at 10 a.m. on Thursday and will focus on enacting legislation related to cutting property taxes in Nebraska. According to the proclamation, Pillen hopes to modify state taxes on cigarettes, vaping products, spirit alcohol, keno gaming, and game of skill devices. Pillen released a playbook to the public on July 18th that takes aim at special interest tax breaks. Some Nebraska lawmakers blasted Pillen on Tuesday for his blatant disrespect to the legislature and not yet formally calling a special session. Other lawmakers have also shared criticisms about Pillen's proposed tax plan, saying the plan asks for too much and offers too little guidance. FBI Director Christopher Wray testified on Capitol Hill Wednesday, talking about the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump, revealing more details about the shooter. Jen Sullivan looks at what we're learning and what went wrong leading up to the shooting.
Good morning, Chairman Jordan.
FBI Director Christopher Wray in the hot seat Wednesday, testifying in front of the House Judiciary Committee about the man who tried to assassinate former President Donald Trump during a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania earlier this month.
The men and women of the FBI will continue to work tirelessly to get to the bottom of what happened.
The colossal security failure leaving Trump bloodied and injured in the ear. The shooter, identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, perched on a nearby rooftop with an AR-style rifle, opening fire on the crowd. 1 person was killed and 2 others were hurt. Crooks was shot and killed by the Secret Service. Wray testifying that Crooks had explosive devices in his possession.
We've recovered 3 devices, 2 in his vehicle and 1 back in his residence.
Wray also releasing chilling new details about how Crooks searched on his laptop for how far Lee Harvey Oswald was when he shot and killed President John F. Kennedy in 1963.
That's a search that obviously is significant in terms of his state of mind.
Wray also telling lawmakers that the shooter flew a drone over the rally site for 11 minutes, just 2 hours before Trump took the stage. Wray's testimony coming days after now former Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle was grilled by members of the House Oversight Committee.
You're full of today. You're just being completely dishonest.
Cheadle resigning following her testimony. Now the Senate has introduced a bipartisan bill to ensure future Secret Service directors are vetted and confirmed by the Senate. I'm Jen Sullivan reporting.
We've seen more sophisticated and less.
Runza is a restaurant that holds a dear place in many Nebraskans' hearts. On Wednesday morning, they brought a highly requested item to central Nebraska. Ryan Valenta has the report.
Nebraskans are doing big things again, and today hundreds of them are waiting in line for a breakfast sandwich. I'm here at Runza in Hastings, where it's chapter 2 of the Breakfast Runza series, and it's only fitting it comes to Hastings, as they were formerly known as Egg Bunzas that made their debut here in Hastings in the 1980s. Behind me, dozens of cars line the street waiting for a taste. You can hear the engines getting started. It's 7 o'clock, meaning it is time for Breakfast Runzas.
Breakfast Runzas stole the show in Hastings Wednesday morning, with 250 of them being sold for a good cause. Even though the store didn't open until 7 a.m., fanatics got there plenty early and lined the streets for multiple blocks. The one-day event raised funds for Threads of Grace, an Adams County nonprofit organization dedicated to supporting children in foster care and people experiencing personal or family crises.
Oh, I think it's huge. You know, they have a huge following. Everybody loves Runza in Nebraska, and so to have those followers now learn about what we do and who we are, it's exposure we couldn't have gotten otherwise.
Threads of Grace board member Jeff Coley said the proceeds today will greatly help their organization to assist kids in getting back to school.
This here, we've been trying to broaden our reach to outside Adams County to help children in crisis, and the exposure from Runza today and all the news media outlets, this is just remarkable. This is really going to spread the word that we're here to help children.
Lincoln saw the first return of the breakfast sandwiches in April, and Runza is looking into making these breakfast treats appear for the third time sometime soon. The 250 Runzas sold out in just 45 minutes, but everyone who waited in the long drive-through line from the start was able to get one. In Hastings, Ryan Valenta, News Channel, Nebraska.
The nation's longest road running through northern Nebraska is now officially known as the Medal of Honor Highway. Massachusetts became the 12th and final state to designate its portion of Highway 20 with this honorary title, following Nebraska's designation in 2020. As NCN's Casey Wannenberg reports, travelers along Nebraska's stretch now have a meaningful new way to honor those who have served our country.
Right here is my Uncle Jim.
Casey Walton has a deep family history of military service.
This is my dad, Melvin Walton.
With his dad, grandpa, several uncles.
Two of my uncles, Curly Walton and Doug Walton.
And even his great-great-grandpa, all having served.
My grandfather and all of his brothers were served in the military. Their grandfather served in the Civil War.
But Casey himself was unable to put on the uniform.
I lost sight in my right eye, so I couldn't go.
Instead, he's found a different way to honor those who have risked it all for our country. Walton is spearheading this project to expand the Veterans Memorial Park in Gordon, Nebraska.
A guy, his name was Freeman Peterson, started this park with the helicopter, but then he got old and his health kind of went bad and nobody ever finished it, so I kind of took up after he did.
Walton, along with other volunteers,
I get emotional just talking about it,
have added a memorial wall along with pillars and 2 eagle statues.
We've got one more big eagle, the 2 smaller ones, but we got one a lot bigger from Chadron State.
And it's 6.5 foot tall, and it has a 13-foot wingspan. It's a big bald eagle. It's a monster.
But that's not it. The group is raising money to expand the park another 30 feet and add even more military equipment.
We've got a deuce-and-a-half truck that come out of Desert Storm that's going to be on the east. And that's on loan. We're working with the Wyoming National Guard to see if we can get an M110 howitzer cannon.
An eye-catching display that these volunteers hope will have travelers taking a moment to honor those who've served.
It's great to see people pull in and look at it.
People stop here, almost all day long and take pictures and everything in there. It's a beautiful thing to see.
A beautiful project.
Right here's my grandpa.
That's given Walton a unique way to serve his country.
This is kind of my way of serving, I guess you could say.
If you would like to add your loved one to this wall, there is still space available, and you don't have to be in the Gordon area. I'll have information on who to contact under this story at newschannelnebraska.com. Reporting in Gordon, Casey Wannenberg, News Channel, Nebraska.
And moving now to the gridiron, the conversations about the Nebraska football team at Big Ten Media Days kept coming back to one detail: turnovers. The Big Red gave the ball away 31 times last year and only took it from their opponents 14 times. It's created a sense of urgency with head coach Matt Rule.
We have to find a way to go from -17 to +7. We have to find a way to get that done, and so we're going to practice it. We're going to coach it. We're going to allocate playing time based upon who protects the ball, but also who takes it away.
The Huskers finished 5-7 last year and missed a bowl game for the 7th straight season. But 5 of those 7 losses came by just 1 score. Rule is entering his 2nd season as head coach, confident the program is on the right track.
The close losses at Nebraska are not an affliction. It's, we don't need to get out a voodoo doll. We need to hold the ball properly and knock it out, make one more catch, have a little bit more confidence, and go make one more play and win a couple games, and all of a sudden we'll be talking in a different tone.
And make sure to head to our website to find more coverage of the Huskers and other conference teams from Big Ten Media Days. And thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure to like us on Facebook and give us a follow on social media on X, Instagram, and here on YouTube. Hope you have a great day. This is News Channel Nebraska.